Hey everyone, welcome to our Thursday edition of the Bolt Crew podcast. It's Dave Palais, Josh Palais, Mario Heron. Mario's smiling, shaking his head because I believe if we did this right, I say we because it went well. It looks like we're live on Twitter at the same time. Is that correct, Mario?
Yes, we are live on Twitter. It worked. Who would have
Nice.
thought?
Who would have thought? Who would have thought that kid in Indiana, people said was not a bright kid in high school? All of a sudden, look what he just did.
Yeah.
How
Yeah,
about
shout
that?
out Mrs. Conti. That was her name. That was her name. Shout out to her. She was really surprised I got into college, and that is her name.
Was she surprised? She
Yeah.
pulled the move like, I can't believe you got into college.
No, she pulled the when I was like, yeah, I got into the Paul. She was, they let you in. You got into the Paul. And I was like,
What's going on?
yes. I was like, my extracurricular activities are actually pretty good. Thank you very much.
Oh my God, look at you, man. See,
Yeah.
I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you. All right. So here's the deal. We're live on YouTube as well. Please like the show, subscribe to the show. Tell you how to do it all the time. You guys have been great. Right now, we're just actually, bragging a little bit, looking at the numbers. Full team effort. You guys are showing that you guys are actually appreciating the show. At the same time, the Chargers are playing extremely well. Chargers 2-0, taking on the Steelers this Sunday, also 2-0, and it's a 10 a.m. kickoff start Pacific time. It's going to be exciting. Now, my question for you guys is this. The Steelers were a team that were supposed to finish last in their division. They're off to a 2-0 start. They're in first place. Chargers also tied for first place in their division. How much national attention does this game get compared to the rest of the NFL this weekend?
One of the biggest games of the weekend. You get Mike Tomlin versus Jim Harbaugh. I think that's the number one selling point for this game. It's not the Steelers franchise versus this historic Chargers franchise because the Chargers are not that. It's Mike Tomlin versus Jim Harbaugh, two of the best coaches in the NFL. And you get Harbaugh with the Chargers, whose brother is the number one rival of Mike Tomlin. It's awesome. I love this game. Both teams are undefeated, like you said, and it's going to be a playoff matchup. You know, these are two teams that I think everybody would expect to make the playoffs, not because Justin Fields is lighting the world on fire, because the Steelers just find a way to win year after year.
I'm with you. If you took a look across like the other games that go on that day, what Giants Browns you're gonna look forward to? Probably not. Texans Vikings. All right, there's some narrative there. Eagles Saints. All right, there's something there, but the Eagles find a way to blow it at every single end. Lions and Cardinals. Cardinals had one spin off of a good game. Chiefs Falcons. That's a nothing burger. Ravens Cowboys. Do people really care about the Cowboys that much? I think this game's up there with some of the best football of the weekend, and it's gonna be a big narrative game, Dave. Big narrative game. Like you said, if this whichever team wins and starts off 3-0, they're going to be in a conversation. Is this contender or pretender? Is this game a playoff team, not a playoff team? How serious is this team really? So it's going to be a conversation starter for a lot of different things come Monday.
No, absolutely. It's funny. If the Ravens would have at least been one-on-one heading into their game with the Cowboys, that probably would have been, to me, the game that people would have been talking about, right? Because the Cowboys always have that fan base that's supposed to be gigantic. And at the same time, the Ravens are a team many people thought could make a Super Bowl run. They would say this is a preview for a possible Super Bowl. Looking at the Chargers, who again in the number 2 media market, and the Steelers, even though they aren't in a giant media market, the Steelers are the Steelers. They're one of those teams that's a national brand. And there are a few teams in the NFL where you could say they are a national brand. And you can tell when the Steelers travel and what the Steelers history is. It's one of those where Mike Tomlin's been an exceptional coach. It's one of those organizations where they don't get rid of coaches very often, right? They've only had 3 in my lifetime. Pretty amazing what the Pittsburgh franchise, meaning the Steelers, the Rooney family, has run things for a number of years and has always been a team that is a postseason team. Doesn't exactly win Super Bowls anymore, but they're a team that, hey, they're going to get to the postseason. Need I say they're much like the Dodgers, right? They're going to make it to the postseason, not guarantee that they're going to win. So here you have 2-0 teams. Again, we all know the early games are the games we have the most amount of games. But at the same time, if you're a Charger fan, it's nice to be in the conversation. To think where you were basically, 11 months ago, 10 months ago to go, we're an embarrassing franchise. We're going to pick 5th overall in the draft. To all of a sudden, the defense looks completely different. You have a head coach that for the first time, and we said it on the show on Sunday, and I was talking to a Charger fan this morning who said to me, for the first time in my life, and this guy is almost 54 years old, first time in my life, I don't feel like I'm watching Charger football going, they're going to figure a way to Charger it, as Mario always says. They aren't going to figure a way to blow it. You feel like when you have the lead, you're in good hands with Jim Harbaugh. It's a different sense of security. As we said, Jim Harbaugh is the Chargers security blanket. And finally, you kind of wonder, Dean, what took you so long, right? What took you so long to go out and hire a coach that you feel safe with? Even with Marty and the Team One guys, Marty had that history of blowing big games all the time too. I mean, that was always what he was known for. The winningest coach to never make it to a Super Bowl. Marty was going to find a way to screw it up in the postseason. Jim's always a guy that has found a way to win wherever he's at, no matter the league, no matter the roster. Jim Harbaugh finds a way to win.
100%. And I never understood how the Chargers would have an all-pro quarterback in either Phillip Rivers or Justin Herbert, and then you'd have a crappy head coach. Like, what's the point of having a really nice car with a crappy engine? Like, it doesn't make any sense to me. I don't understand why it took Spanos so long to hire Jim Harbaugh or any coach that has a big name. Was it an ego thing? Was it he didn't know who to hire? I mean, everybody knows who to hire. Like, the fact, Mario, that the Bears don't have Mike Vrabel today as their head coach makes you scratch your head. You have the number one pick. You have all these new players, but you can't get a head coach that knows what he's doing. Here's something that someone wrote in the chat. I want to give you credit because it was a good question. Ghostly put, are we the national 1 p.m. game? Well, the game's going to be at 10 a.m. if you're in San Diego. So, or if you're in Southern California, it's a 10 a.m. game. So I looked it up. The Chargers-Steelers game is the national game for most of the United States. From the West Coast all the way through the East Coast, it's like a straight line. It is almost everywhere. The only other team that has a little bit is the Texans and the Vikings, which I would never watch that game. But the Chargers-Steelers is the game that everybody wants to see. Like I said, it's two teams that are 2-0, two teams with great head coaches, and two teams that people really don't know what they are. As a Chargers fan, Mario, I'm not entirely sure I know what the Chargers are yet. Like I said, they've barely opened up their playbook. J.K. Dobbins, I think, is just scratching the surface. QJ is just scratching the surface. I think people want to tune in and see what this Chargers team's about.
People want to see what Harbaugh is like in the NFL, and they want to see, like, is the magic still there? Is he still the guy that can win everywhere and anywhere in any way he can? Is that still there? Like, does he still have his fastball? I think people really want to tune into that. And he's facing, like we said, Mike Tomlin, his toughest challenge yet when it comes to coaching. He's not facing a, first-year head coach. That's going to be big for him. How does he react to it? How does he overcome facing the best defensive player in the NFL that literally wins his team football games in TJ Watt? It's going to be a huge test for Joe Olt. Can he hold up against him? Because if I'm the Steelers, I'm putting him on the rookie and going, all right, let's see how good you really are, Joe. It's a lot of questions. And Dave, I think the biggest question too that kind of shocked me is Justin Herbert. Ankles looks like it's taped up to heaven, like just absolutely so much tape I've never seen on an ankle. And he's limited in practice today. Does that worry you at all heading into Pittsburgh? The health of his ankle and how the percentage he'll be heading into this game?
Not at all. I mean, not at all. And I say that because who's going to be the first Charger player that has a big name on their back to say, I can't go, right? Especially with everything that Jim Harbaugh has done to talk this guy up. There's no way he's saying he can't go. You shoot it up, you tape it up, you put a cast on it, whatever it takes, you're going out on the field. I mean, we have called out guys in the past that seem to take the easy way out on this team all the time. And yet here you are, you have guys with the big names that are saying, I'm playing. Nobody feels well. Understand that. Look, we're going to week 3 of the season. There are guys who are bruised and battered, and it's like this in every NFL team. As they say in every sport, the day you feel good is the day you get out of your car on the first day of practice. That's the last time you're going to feel good the entire season. And look, there are a lot of guys that are banged up. Obviously, Justin Herbert's the biggest name, but there's no way Justin Herbert's looking at Jim Harbaugh and says, I can't go. Good luck with Houston Stick. That's not happening, right? So I'm not concerned. And am I calling guys out for being soft in the past? I've done it before on this show, and unfortunately, that was a horrible time. I just think, guys, it is different. For the duration of this Jim Harbaugh contract, I think you aren't going to have to worry about guys who, I don't want to say fake injuries, but guys that take the easy way out for the paycheck.
I got a question right back at you. How do you stop a guy from taking a game off? Like, why did guys feel like it was okay to take a game off under Brandon Staley? You're still playing for your contract. What does Jim Harbaugh do? You might not have an answer, but what does Jim Harbaugh do to prevent guys from not taking games off?
I 100% have an answer for you. The answer is, let's be honest, none of those players thought the team had a chance of winning a championship. That's the difference. It's easy to take time off when you're going, why would I sit there and basically risk severe health to me in the duration of my life when I'm in my 50s and 60s for a team that maybe is going to, pick 17 overall? That's That's what they look at. They look at Jim Harbaugh because Jim Harbaugh has these guys believing, guys, we can win. We can win it all this year. Do not let these guys down. Do not let me down. You are getting paid to do your job. And I think honestly, I've never been a professional athlete. I believe that guys right now are playing the game for their teammates. They're playing for their head coach, and they're playing because they love the game. And as ridiculous that might sound to some of you guys, I think in the past, guys literally played to get paid. And that's the issue. And when you believe it or not, at one point I was a psychology major. Things change in your head when you get paid to do a job. Even if you love that job, there's a paycheck involved, things change.
Like in what
just
sense?
Changes.
What do you mean? Like they don't try as hard?
It becomes all of a sudden it's not a game. It's not for passion. It's for work. I have to do this. Not that I want to do this. It turns into I have to, not I want to.
Do you feel like Joey Bosa's that guy? Like he has to do this?
Joey Bosa's that guy. I've been talking around it the whole freaking time. Joey Bosa's 100% been that guy. I've been trying not to freak out on Joey Bosa because everyone says I'm too tough on him. Joey Bosa's that guy. I told you 2 years ago, Joey Bosa's going to fake an injury until they have a chance to be playoff eligible, and he came back for the Jags game. Joey Bosa has 100% been that guy. He's been the biggest phony going. As I said, Joey Bosa wears a mask, right? We say it all the time. He's one of those guys. Yeah, he wears a mask to the bank when he deposits his check. He's embarrassed.
I want to know what the truth is because you've heard, that Joey Bosa, we know we don't need to hear anything. We know that he takes games off, but we also hear that he works harder than everybody else. Like you hear that report at the same time. Which one is it? Like I believe Joey Bosa is an all-world talent as an edge rusher. I think he really does have talent that most guys in the league don't have. But it's all been potential up until this season. I think this is his year. He can actually make a push for Defensive Player of the Year.
Good, Mario.
Hey, I think it starts, this game too, because you're facing a quarterback in Justin Fields that very athletic, really good at using his legs, can make a play kind of out of anything. I know, we've crapped on Fields before saying he's not an amazing quarterback. That being said, if he scrambles around the pocket, he does do a decent job of somehow finding an open guy. And that play does happen every game. It does. Like there's going to be one play where Fields looks like the play is broken. He's going to throw the ball to the complete other side of the field. You're going to think, wow, that's really, really stupid. And then somehow there's like a fourth string receiver that just got on the field that no one's around and they catch it and they get like a 20-yard gain. Like that's going to happen today. I think it's a good opportunity for Bosa to kind of show out, to help contain Justin Fields. He had a very low snap count last week against the Panthers. I think that gets ramped up this week, and I think he has a chance to really go off in this game, man. I mean, really put Fields in the dirt. Buckeye to Buckeye.
And that's the thing is I was going to say the same thing. Jim Sand says it right here in the chat. He says Joey Bosa is real. He is real, and I think honestly Joey Bosa is pushing for not only I don't think Joey's even playing for his own name. I think Joey honestly is sitting there trying to prove to Jim Harbaugh he's what he thought he was. Because there's a lot of talk when you're making as much money as he was that Jim Harbaugh was going to let him go, right? We did not think when Jim Harbaugh came in that both Keenan Allen and Mike Williams would go, but yet they kept Joey Bosa. So it's to say, here's the deal. That meeting, and I'm dying to get the details of this thing when they're talking about this season. What went into talking Jim Harbaugh into saying, I belong on this team and I'm going to be a different player? Because he is a different player. We all see it. He's a different player this year. I said he'll get at least 14 and a half sacks. A bunch of you guys laughed at me because I've been the guy that's been his biggest critic. Mario, I'm with you. The biggest difference is Joey seems like he wants to be on the field. Even when Joey played, Josh and I said it all the time, watch how many times he pulls himself out on 3rd and long situations. Those are his chances to get those sacks in the past. But all of a sudden, hand up, I got to come out, put someone else in for me. It's ridiculous. Completely ridiculous of taking shortcuts. And when you look at these big programs like Ohio State, Alabama, and then in the games, what do, Josh? They all take pictures on the field together. They'll show all the Ohio State guys. You think Joey Bosa wants Justin Fields to have a big game against the Chargers? Joey Bosa is going to be motivated as hell to knock him right in the dirt. I think he's going to have a big game.
Mario, I want you to highlight the chat by Armando with Justin Fields. I think it's a great question. It says, do you think our pass rush can contain Justin Fields? Yes. Not only Justin Fields, but any running quarterback. The real test is going to be Lamar Jackson later in the season, but this is a really good test this upcoming Sunday. Justin Fields does not want to play a team like the Chargers that has Mack and Bosa, then they can rotate in Tooley and Bud Dupree. Like there's a drop off, right, between Tooley and Bud and then Mack and Bosa, but not a lot. Like I think Bud and Tooley could start for 25 teams in the NFL. Like those are really good players. Justin Fields is going to be in hell. I really think that Justin Fields does not want to see a team that has a pass rush of 4 guys that they just rotate in and out.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. Plus, our secondary has proven to be very, very tough so far. And, let's see how they do against what George Pickens led receiving core. Like, let's see how that kind of goes in their favor. And, a guy that in Jesse Minter, it's what it seems like now, kind of a rising defensive mind in the league with how he's coached the past 2 games. It's going to be a lot for Justin Fields, man. It's going to be a lot. And I think the key is, I said this last show, make him a pocket passer. Make him stay in that freaking pocket. Do not let him bounce out. He bounces out, Dave. I think we go into his field. But keep that son of a gun in the pocket. Make him make reads.
This is one of those games. I don't know Russell Wilson's health. I didn't check up on it because I knew Fields was the one that was starting. Is Russell Wilson even capable of playing this week?
He's questionable as of now, but they're expecting the expectations that he will not play and that Fields will start. That's the expectation.
Okay. And this is one of those games, guys, you could see a change coming right in the middle of the game. I don't think Justin Fields is going to have success against the Chargers. You look at the Chargers and you look at the Steelers, too, to give them credit. These 2 teams have allowed the least amount of points so far through 2 games. The Chargers are number 1. The Steelers are number 2. So we expect a low-scoring game, right? We know the Steelers are going to throw a different defense at the Chargers than they've seen in the first 2 weeks. We expect them to basically try and shut down the run first, which is exactly what we would do if we were the defensive coordinator for the Steelers. At the same time, Ghostly writes in here that he thinks Joey's a better player than Nick Bosa. The difference is Nick works harder. Going back to what we said about 5 minutes ago, the 49ers always have something to play for. There's been an argument the Chargers don't always have something to play for, which honestly, you got to question the Bosa family. Like, what's in your head? If that's what it actually comes down to, hey, do I really think we have a chance to win? Or do I have pride in basically I'm getting paid to do a job, I'm going to do it, like Khalil Mack, who gives 100% every single game. If that's the difference, then you sit there and you question Cheryl. Hey, Cheryl, where are you? You as the mom, you sit there and be a better parent. Okay, that's right. I'm going to tell you how to parent. And at the same time, Cheryl, you're going to start coming to the Charger games? Because we see all the time when you're 49er gear at Knicks games. Maybe Joey needs a little bit of love too.
You have something to say, Mario?
On the Nick versus Joey thing, the one thing I'll say about Nick that maybe we haven't mentioned is Nick has benefited from a lot of great defensive coordinating coaches. I would just like to say,
dude, how about Fred Warner?
Greatly.
How about Fred Warner benefits Nick Bosa like no other? I think if Joey or Khalil had a middle linebacker before this that could do anything, it would benefit them as well. Or somebody in the middle of the defensive line. I think TJ Watt is the best defensive player in the NFL, right, Mario? Dude, how about Cam Hayward? How about Cam Hayward? Do you think Cam Hayward helps out TJ Watt? It's going to be a major problem for the Chargers this weekend.
Yeah, right? That's going to be an issue. Big issue.
That's everybody wants to talk about TJ Watt, which you should, but Cam Hayward is the man in the middle. He might be a Hall of Famer. I haven't really looked at his numbers. He's every bit as good as anybody else in the NFL. You have Minkah Fitzpatrick, who people want to compare to Derwin James as the best safety in the NFL. It's going to be a hell of a matchup, man. You got some really good players on the Steelers defense. Patrick Queen moved over from the Ravens to the Steelers. They got Highsmith that can play. They got Dante Jackson at cornerback, Joey Porter Jr. They got names over there, Mario.
And that's why I think, guys, I think this could be our Joshua Palmer game. You know how we talk about...
Yeah, keep going. Why?
Okay, because hear me out here. If I'm the Steelers, I saw last week of, Quinn Johnson getting his confidence back, 2 touchdowns against Carolina. I'm looking at that, and I'm going, it's time to take that crap away. It's time to take that confidence, take a dump on it, wipe your butt, and flush it down the toilet. That's what I'm going to try to do. So I'm going to get anyone else involved. They can take it. They can go. We know Herbert is not 100% healthy right now. We saw last week that Quinn Johnston didn't have his head turned around in situations where it was a 3rd down short. He needed to be out of his route, head turn, and it wasn't. Who's to say that Palmer doesn't do that this week? Who's to say this isn't that weird week where Palmer has, 75-plus receiving yards, Dave, and then maybe a touchdown on top of it? It's the game where we can rely on him, and it's that weird pop-out game of you see a flash of what he could really, really be. Maybe that's this week. That's all I'm going to say. Maybe it could be a big week.
Does it mean anything to you that he hasn't practiced?
I mean, we all don't practice. but we play.
I didn't practice all week.
I didn't practice all week. I still think I think he plays. I mean, he didn't practice a lot last week, and he still played. I expect him to play.
Okay.
Look, I don't know which receiver steps up. I mean, Josh, I thought made a really good point on Tuesday's show when he said, I don't think we've seen what this Charger offense can do. There's no need to show everything that they can do. We haven't seen the passing game, right? I mean, I don't know if they have a passing game. I mean, that's been the question leading into the season. Do they have a passing game? They're going to have to prove it this week. I think this is really a big idea of what the Chargers are, right? We don't want it to be one of those games like the Bills did against the Dolphins last Thursday, where the Bills basically gave an outline, a blueprint to every team in the NFL on how to stop the Dolphins offense from here on out. That we don't want this to be, watch what the Steelers did, and this is what it takes to beat the Chargers every single week. So for me, honestly, I'm going to go Ladd McConkey's my guy. Ladd's going to be that guy that I think has to be the guy that surprises you a little bit, because I think the Steelers are going to basically crush that offensive line. They're going to move everything up. It's going to look like old school football. It's going to be a low scoring game, and it's going to have to be Justin Herbert, who I have faith in, is going to have to be kind of like Tom Brady, finding his old guys on those little slants and getting open and finding the spaces in the defense of, the old Wes Welkers and the Julian Edelmans. And I just think Ladd seems like that guy that is smart enough to do it. He came from a big time program in Georgia. And if it's Quentin Johnson has another big game, fantastic. But I'll ask you guys this, just kind of moving around. There are people I know who say all of a sudden they're running and they're picking up Quentin Johnson for their fantasy football teams. Is Quentin Johnson that guy yet? Do you have that much faith in him?
I think he's the number one option right now for Justin Herbert. I don't think he will be by the end of the season. I think you're spot on by saying Ladd McConkey is the guy that Justin Herbert's going to go to in this game. This is going to be the first time, if you think about it, ever that QJ is the man they circle in the scouting report. Ever.
Sure.
This has never happened. The crazy thing is also the last time Jim Harbaugh lost a football game that actually mattered was on New Year's Eve 2022 to Quentin Johnston. Like, what? It's so many weird things that happen in football, but I want to see what he can do when he's actually relied upon. Like the Carolina Panthers game, I was expecting minimal, if anything, from Quentin Johnson. The 2 touchdowns. Now it's the Steelers game. What are you going to do this Sunday?
I think it's a fair point. What are you going to do when the lights are bright on you and you're a target for the defense, man? Like, how do you show up? How do you perform? And it's against a pretty talented defense and a pretty talented system. And we're going to need one of these guy, like whatever it's Palmer, whatever it's Quinn, whatever it's Ladd. Like, I think, I know what you said in the past, Willem has to step up. I think this is one of these games where, like, they really got to step up. Like, it's no question in doubt, Dave. If they don't, we lose.
I tell you,
JK, I'm just gonna say, like, Steelers are gonna take away our run game. Like, they're gonna do everything they can to take that away. And they're good against a run. They're tied 4th in the league for rushing yards allowed. They're 3rd best in rushing EPA, which, like, advanced analytics, a way of saying that the yards that's expected versus yards that are gained, it's pretty damn good for the Steelers. So they're going to pack the freaking box. They're going to be physical. They're going to make sure that every yard you get is very much earned.
Yeah, no, I couldn't agree more. I think that's exactly what we're going to see. So here's the deal. There are 2 kinds of football fans out there, right? If you're just watching a game and it's not your team that's playing, would you guys consider yourself as football fans, offense or defensive fans?
Offense. I mean, I'm like, isn't 90% of football fans of offense? Listen to Mo Kiper, for God's sakes. He doesn't even know football. Do you hear him today talking? That was the most, anybody that saw that, if you haven't seen that, it's the most insane thing. He wants the NFL to take away the 2 high safeties. What?
Hey, we have too many blocks in the NBA. Take away the 7-footers.
Exactly.
Do you remember? I mean, there are always dumb rules, right? Where you sit there and you go, "What the hell?" Like when the basketball eliminated the dunk, that was weird.
Wait, what?
But it was a long time ago. But like when Bill Walton played, they eliminated.
You just showed your age. That's what you just did. That's what you just did.
I would swear at you if I could right now. I wasn't alive, believe it or not, when that happened. Okay. But if you look back, at the
also,
old
how was it when JFK was president? Was that cool?
I wasn't alive then either. You SOB. All right, so here you go. I'm an offensive guy. All right, I am. Reason I fell in love with football was because offense. I told you when I used to watch the old Chargers when I was a kid, and Mario and I were talking before we went on the air about his nephews that are all of a sudden are into sports. and you're trying to explain, let's say, the game of football, which is, by the way, a lot easier to explain now, I think, to anybody than it used to be when we started watching. At least for me, Mario was probably watching when the yellow line existed, the first down line. But to sit there and try and explain how you get 10 yards and people are sitting there looking at the TV, what are you talking about? But to have the yellow line, look, if they can get to this yellow line, they get a brand new set of downs. I'm an offensive guy. I just like to see a lot of points. I like to see the deep passes. I like to see guys run after the ball just the way the Chargers used to do it. The back when they had Dan Fouts and John Jefferson and Wes Chandler and Charlie Joyner and Kellen Winslow, that was exciting. But if you're one of those old school guys older than me, they love defense. And they want to see defense wins championships. You hear that saying all the time, even though the Patriots often would have like the 30th best defense, and then they'd still win the Super Bowl. So that wasn't exactly true. This is a defensive game. This is 100% going to be a defensive game. And it's funny when Josh mentioned Derwin James and Minkah Fitzpatrick back in college when Alabama played Florida State. They mentioned those two guys, right? Those were the two safeties. And when they faced each other, watch the matchup between these two guys. Well, here we are in the NFL, and we're still talking about those two guys who are outstanding. So, again, if you aren't aware of what the Steelers are, number 39 on the Steelers, number 3 on the Chargers, watch what those guys do because they don't play safety like the rest of the safeties in the NFL. They're all over the place, and they both do the same thing. They act like they know what the play is before the play is even called. They're like Ed Reed smart. Remember, Ed Reed was that way with the Ravens. We just go, how the hell did he know to be there? Palomalu like that.
Palomalu, yeah.
And so when you look at these two guys, these are two of the best safeties in the league. You have some of the best defensive ends in the league. You're going to enjoy this game if you're a defensive fan. It's going to be low scoring, I feel. And at the same time, I think you're going to see all the highlights that you normally would love to see from a talented defensive team. And that means both teams.
Mario, what's the over-under on this game? Do you have that?
I can get it for you really quickly. It's low. I'm pretty sure it's like 38 and a half the last time I saw.
It's higher than I thought it would be. I think both teams
35 and a half.
20s. Okay. All right. Hey, we got a lot of good comments. Do you guys mind if I go to some of the
go ahead. Fire through these.
Go ahead.
Okay. We have a request that you read one, Dave.
I can't see. I can see Angel right here. Camarillo, bolt up.
No, this one right here.
Dude, I can't see. You guys are killing me. Uncle
give me a
Dave,
shot.
Michigan football, back in LA. Ground and pound, great defense. Cornerback, do enough to win the game. Agree with me? That's the question. Yes, I agree with that right there. That ground and pound is back in LA. I think we have a great defense, and I think Justin Herbert does do enough to win the game. I do agree with you. Good job, AK. 499 super chat. Appreciate that.
Yeah, appreciate that. Let's go down to the next one, Mario.
I feel
Awesome.
like I'm doing an eye chart. Thank God, dude. That's the last one. Dude, I swear to God.
Which one did you want to do?
AK again.
Oh, okay, again. All right.
Yep. 199. Appreciate it. It says, remember how JJ won the title with Coach Baby? Yeah, I was there, man. I was there for the Rose Bowl. It sucked. When I saw that JJ McCarthy could win with Jim Harbaugh, I think everybody felt that Justin Herbert could do a lot more. Do you guys feel the same way?
Yeah, I mean, he did it with JJ and obviously faced, I think, quarterbacks in the next 2 games that were a lot more talented than him with Penix and with Monroe. I think they'll both probably – actually, I don't know if Jalen and Monroe have a better career than JJ McCarthy. Let's see, to be determined. But college quarterback-wise, I think Jalen's a better quarterback than him. So he overcame it a lot, and he did it in his first stint with the Niners. So I think he can do it again with the Chargers.
Yeah, I mean, not only did Jim Harbaugh win a national championship with JJ McCarthy, he got drafted crazy high compared to what everyone said a year ago at this time, right? I mean, JJ McCarthy was either a late draft pick or not getting drafted at all. All of a sudden, he's getting taken high in the first round. He's the Vikings' future, misses the whole season his rookie year, gets a huge contract, right? He gets paid well because he's a first-round pick. Jim Harbaugh talked to him up the entire time. I mean, Blake Corum, same thing. You can sit there and go, here's another guy that's not going to contribute right now. And then, again, their college coach helped him out, helped him get paid. Did a better job than Pete Carroll. Taylor Mays thinks so. Basically embarrassed him and said, I'm not drafting you. You're right there. Guess what? I'm taking Earl Thomas.
I love that you bring up the Taylor Mays because it's true.
As much as I can because it's the biggest D move of all time.
Ghostly, the next one down, Mario. It says, why did ESPN say we are pretenders? Is that not insane? Dude, I feel like the content at ESPN is so piss poor. I have nothing more to say than that. Like, nothing that I hear on ESPN means anything to me.
I just, look, I understand the pretenders in terms of the receiving core again, like, still leaves a lot more to be desired, and maybe you're worried about Herbert's health. But that being said, every team's just kind of going through it right now, Dave. Like, to say any team's legit besides our nemesis, like, I fail to see that.
I'm with you on that. So here's the deal, just so people understand how it works. I've worked for ESPN for about 30 years. I even worked for Fox, and what they tell you is this: that we don't pay you to be right. We pay you to have opinions. That's basically it. So not very often do you see broadcasters show up on Monday and say, "This is where I screwed up." On this show, we'll tell you where we screwed up. We do screw up. We'll tell you, hey, when we did well, and we'll tell you, hey, man, I completely read that wrong. And people love to see if we make a mistake, but we point it out. I think we're good at it. We aren't sitting there telling you we know it all. As I said, the idea of doing this show with the three of us is that hopefully it feels like a conversation that we're having with you, that here we are as fans rooting for this team to win. We're just talking about the game before and after, getting ready for the next matchup. And we hurt when you hurt. You see us get upset. But at the same time, it's not one of those we're just going to say crazy stuff just so people talk about it. It's not a clickbait deal. That's not what this show's about. That's ridiculous. So when Mel Kiper, who's supposed to be an expert, who should be above that, is insane when he says take a safety off the field. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. By the way, they kept the wrong guy. McShay's the one they should have kept, and they should have fired Kiper.
100%. Let's go to the one by Matthew Dahl. Mario. Max Crosby.
Oh, okay.
Gotcha. It says $4.99. Appreciate that. It says Max Crosby is the front runner for Defensive Player of the Year right now. Bosa needs a statement this game. I don't understand how Max Crosby is the front runner for Defensive Player of the Year when he got shut out in the second half by a rookie. Joe Alt might be one of the best right tackles in the NFL, but he still shut him out. You can't be Defensive Player of the Year and disappear. And I also think Aiden Hutchinson should be the front runner. He just had a 4.5 sack game.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to check the odds right now. So, Dave, can you go real quick while I find these odds really quickly?
Yeah. So here's the deal. I got a comment on this one. Josh is right. Max Crosby showed up for one half against the Chargers. So they basically disappeared for a full half against a rookie tackle. So what does that say? Number one, Joe Alt's great. Two is, where's Max Crosby? If you're a Raider fan, we're depending on you. Two, the guy that no one ever mentions, Josh mentioned his name on the show. We talk about it all the time. You want to watch a great defensive player, look at Fred Warner. Number 54 on the 49ers is ridiculous. And he should be the guy that should be favored to win Defensive Player of the Year.
Sorry to break this to you, Matthew, but that's actually inaccurate. Aiden Hutchinson is the leader to win Defensive Player of the Year plus 350. Then it's TJ Watt, then it's Parsons, then Garrett, then Crosby. So Crosby's actually fifth on the board on that one, with Garrett, Parsons, Watt, and Hutchinson all ahead of him, which I think makes sense by a mile. I mean, Watt wins the Steelers games. Hutchinson, like you said, just had a 5-sack game, leads the league in sacks right now. And by the way, the Bears will look, you're going to add like 12 sacks on top of that when they faces them. So, Max Crosby, I don't think, if he didn't win it the past 2 years, I think it's going to be really hard for him to ever win it, man, because he plays every single snap,
Also, his team defense needs to be better. The Raiders' defense has been terrible for the most part. Next one, you're going to have to put your thinking cap on for this one. This $9.99 from AK. You're really going to have to think on this, okay?
AK's throwing the money like crazy. They appreciate the super chats.
Yeah. It says game tied at 17 each, under 3 minutes, Chargers ball at the Pittsburgh 36. Do you go for it or kick a field goal? It's 4th and 2. Remember, it's a hard place to kick 50-plus yard field goals. Do you go for it or do you kick the field goal if you're in a situation where it's tied?
Under 3 minutes, Chargers ball, I kick the field goal.
I think we have the best kicker in the NFL, even though he missed the extra point the other day. I rely on Cameron Dicker to make it.
60 before that miss. You know what they say? Kicking the 61st extra point in a row is the hardest.
and then I no, but in this situation too, with our defense, and then I'm gonna trust Fields to lead a drive. Okay.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah, like go full field. I freaking dare you.
Okay. Next one from Young West, $5. It says, and thank you, I appreciate it. It says, if this team is a playoff team, what makes it? What position do you believe we need to upgrade at before the trade deadline in order to win in the playoffs? So, what position would you think the Chargers need to upgrade at the trade deadline? I think it's an easy answer right now. It'd be tight end, specifically a pass catching threat at tight end. I understand that Gerald Everett couldn't block, but Gerald Everett could make plays in the pass game. Will Disley is doing his job. He's a great blocker, Hayden Hurst is supposed to be the pass catching threat. He has not been that yet in 2 games. I'm going to give him some time. But if he doesn't prove it by the trade deadline, Mario, how do you not make a trade for a pass catching threat at tight end?
Yeah, to me, this is tight end or nothing. It's got to be I mean, I swear, David, this group gets one stupid play on Sunday. There's going to be a hole in the wall at River House in Arlington, Virginia, that I'm going to have to pay for.
Look, the tight end situation, catching the ball and doing something, being a threat, is worse than I thought it was going to be. Even when we do catch the ball, we catch it and then we run and hold that ball like it's a fireman taking a baby out of a burning building. Like we don't even look like we're willing to gain more than 3 yards. We just sit there and do this move with it. I don't know what the hell we're doing. It's insane. I mean, we're taking don't fumble to a whole nother level, but we are not gaining major yards, man. Once we catch the ball. All right, so I'll throw an option to you. You guys answer me and say if you think this is possible. Let's say the Ravens lose to the Cowboys this week and they fall to 0-3, and the Ravens now set themselves in a pattern where it looks like they aren't even a postseason team. Would you make a trade for Mark Andrews?
Nope. Stay as far away as I can from Mark Andrews. I don't rely that he'll be there. Mario, he's never available. The dude is – him and Kittle get hurt walking down the stairs. Like, I'm not relying on Mark Andrews down the stretch.
I was about to say, did you get that alert? Because Kittle didn't practice today.
He never does.
Yeah, he didn't practice. Hamstring was a little tight. Yeah, likely thing. Actually, there's a Ravens fan not too far from me right now. I mean the stupid Mark Andrews thing. Maybe for like a 6th or a 7th, like cheap as hell, we get a deal. Maybe throw in a McDonald's cheeseburger on top of it or something. Maybe, but other than that, yeah, I'd rather not.
They're tough to find. I mean, they sure are tough to find. That's for sure.
All right, this is really nice. This next one, LS made it rain. 1999. Very much appreciate it. This one's for Dave specifically. It says, for Casey doing so well in the series and because the Orioles won today. Aha, I love the show, fellas. Do you want to explain to people who Casey is?
Yeah, Casey is Casey Schmidt. Casey's a family friend of ours. Casey plays third base for the Giants. He's playing right now and plays to Matt Chapman. And the Giants did play well, but Casey and the Orioles won the game on a walk-off home run because I was watching it right before we came on there. But Casey had a big game, yesterday. So Casey Schmidt been on my T-ball team since he was 4 years old. To see him become major leaguer with the San Francisco Giants, and he did play well today. So LS, I appreciate that mention. And Casey, we talk every time after every single game. We'll sit there and write to each other back and forth. But appreciate it, man. When he does well, man, it makes all of us feel good.
Yeah, we're always rooting for Casey. A lot of people in the comments disagree with us. They're saying they're fine with the tight end. We don't have an issue at tight end. I would love to know why you guys think that. The Chargers tight ends have less than 100 yards combined through the first 2 games. I don't understand why you would think we're okay at tight end at all. I don't understand that at all. So if you want to give me a reason why you think it's okay, I'm interested to see. Do you guys want to get into the games?
Yeah, just real quick on the tight end thing. Look, ask Justin Herbert privately what he thinks. It's an option, man. You have to have that option. I mean, here's the deal. Our running game is basically what's driving this team right now. You have to have a passing game somewhere. You have to have some answers somewhere for this thing to work out a little bit. So to have any kind of option to help the passing game would be great because, again, it will help the running game. The Steelers right now will show us what we are. I mean, this is it. Us going 3-0 or the Chargers basically losing a tough one against the Steelers and then falling to the Chiefs the next week, all of a sudden you aren't feeling so good about yourself. You're a 500 team after 4 weeks. It can be completely different. I think it really will open doors for Joe Ortiz to see what this Charger team needs to chase.
Yeah, and here's the thing about Hayden Hurst. If he was any good, he wouldn't be on his 5th or 6th team. He's Jennifer Lopez. He's on his 5th marriage. Yeah. Like, there's a reason why he's in the 5th team in like 4 or 5 seasons, whatever it's been. I want him to do great, just like I want everybody else to do great. But why would you believe that he's going to be someone that's going to turn it on for some reason? He has yet to turn it on in his career. So we need better tight end play in the pass game. Blocking's been phenomenal. We need help. AK, one more star chat. Sorry, Mario. Here you go. 199 says Chargers win 24-16. Herbert has 275 passing yards and 3 touchdowns.
Hell yeah.
Okay.
Right. I love it. I love it. If you nail the score, I'll give you your money back. Yeah. AK, if you get it right, I'll send you $1.99.
That's generous of you. All right,
Mario
let's go
would have
through
had
the
it
game.
last week if it wasn't for that missed extra point. Would have nailed the game perfectly.
Oh, don't even talk to me about that. All right,
You did good, man. You did absolutely good. All right, you want to pick the games?
let's go to the games.
All right, let's go to the games. So again, if you're gonna listen to us pick the games here, let you know where we stand on the season. Again, I'm in last place. I'm 14 and 18 right now overall. Josh and Mario both are 500. They're 16 and 16. I promise we'll even get better than this. We just got to see what these teams really are. Who would have guessed some of these teams would be 0 and 2? Who would guess the Vikings would be 2 and 0? Teams like that. But at the same time, we'll get better. Before we pick, how confident do you guys feel in your picks? Mario, I'll let you go first since you're the gambler. You like your picks this week?
I feel great. Hey, 500. You're in the Hall of Fame, brother.
There we go. All right, so
Yeah.
the loser overall, and we'll have to do this on the show, has to eat a combination of 15 things. For me, my 15 things that I'm picking, if it's me, it's a combination of hot dogs, tacos, and hard-boiled eggs. Mario said the other day he's never had a hard-boiled egg. Other people jumped in, Mario, and said they've never had a hard-boiled egg either. What you said blew me away, by the way, that you've never had a hard-boiled egg in your entire life.
It sounds like hard to make. Like, how do you even make that?
Dude, I can't cook for anything. It's the easiest thing to make. You throw the egg in the water and wait for the water to boil and take it out after 5 minutes. You're fine.
With the shell on it?
No, you take the shell off. What's wrong with you?
How do you take the shell off?
No. You boil it with the shell on.
Yeah, with the shell. Then you crack it, and then the egg's right there.
Oh, I thought you meant like you take the shell off before you put it in there. I'm like, there's no way you
I don't
can
know.
do that. I was like, you're breaking my brain with that, dude. I'm just asking. God forbid I ask a question.
Dude, I should have told him you take the shell off first, Josh, and so just boil a bunch of yolks.
Dude, yeah.
I was wondering. I was like,
you just
there's
ruined the
no
pot.
way.
You just ruined the pot. Oh my God. The funny thing is you live by yourself, but if you imagine if you went home and tried it for the first time in front of your mom would lose her mind. What are you doing,
Oh,
Mario?
God.
You ruined all the pots.
What the hell's going on? There was one time I cooked pasta for the first time and I didn't wait for it to boil. And I just threw it in there. Because I was like, this has to save time. Those noodles tasted so bad. I was like, holy
No kidding.
hell.
You weren't eating noodles, you're eating hay.
Yeah, it was terrible. I was like, I don't know what's going on here. It's like chickpea pasta too, because I was trying to be healthy. And I was like, these noodles just suck. I don't know why anyone would do this. And then should have waited to be boiled. Anyways.
All right. You might be my favorite human being on the planet.
I try to be. For America.
All right, yeah, we'll go through the games. I'll throw them out there, okay? I'm writing them down as we go. We have Thursday night game tonight. It's the Jets taking on the Patriots. The Jets are favored by 6.5. Who wants to go first?
I couldn't have been more wrong last week. I'm going to go the Patriots cover. I mean, better than people think.
Mario, what do you say?
I saw the worst gambler on the planet say that he's nuking the Jets, so I'm going to take the Pats. Literally,
Really?
I hand up, shots Ryan Horvath, big friend of the show, legend. He goes, I think I'm going to bet the Jets tonight. We saw that guy tweeted that he's betting the Jets, and he goes, never mind, we're not betting the Jets. That sounds good, buddy.
6.5 seems like a lot. At the same time, I'm gonna go Jets. I got to catch up some games with you guys. I'm gonna go opposite of you guys. I'm gonna go Jets. I wouldn't bet this game, by the way.
Yeah.
Next game, Vikings looking to go 3-0. They host the Texans. Texans are favored by 1.5 in this.
Wow.
Mario, you want to go first? Yeah, I think so too. Which always makes you feel like, what does everyone else know?
I just can picture Daniel Jones just absolutely blowing it and throwing a pick. I think I'll give you Browns. Browns, it's 7-0.
No, Texans, Vikings.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm going off the list on BetMGM. Dude, I
have to write Browns here just to give them a loss. Go ahead.
Yeah,
what?
How about you kiss my ass? Texans. Give me Texans.
Josh, what do you say?
Texans all the way. Maybe it's because Nico Collins is questionable, but Texans all the way.
I agree with you guys going Texans as well across the board. Next game up, it's the Buccaneers favored by 6.5, taking on the Broncos. And man, I'm going Baker and Evans. I'm going Bucks.
I'm with you on that. I think Broncos are awful. I think Bo Nix is probably one of the worst quarterbacks in the NFL. Buccaneers.
Dude, talk about like a game I just don't even want to touch with my, I don't
Yeah.
even know, some dead family member's money that maybe is still stored away somewhere. Bucks, I guess. God, that is a terrible number. If
Is
you
his
bet that, go to Asylum.
is his nickname really Blow Picks?
I thought it was
Oh,
picnics.
I thought it was
All right.
Bo
Picnic-
Picks.
Oh, Bo Picks.
Bo picks. Bo
Yeah.
picks.
Bo
Yeah,
Picks.
Tom
Yeah.
wrote Blow Picks.
That's pretty
Dude,
good.
funnier. Yeah, that's good. Keep that up,
I just
Tom.
love to see Sean Payton struggling. All right.
Yeah, me
Next
too.
game up. This one, if we would ask you to pick this in advance, like if we had to pick all these games before the season started, no way would we expect this line to be what it is. It's the Saints favored by 3 against the Eagles. Josh, you go first.
Dude, I like the Saints. I think the Saints are
Mhm.
awesome. I think the Eagles are huge pretenders. I think Nick Sirianni completely overrated. I like New Orleans.
Dude, I am marching with the Saints. I'm going to New Orleans. I'm getting the beads because I'm flashing my chest. It's the Saints.
All right, I'm going with you guys as well. Going clean sweep across there. Next game up on the schedule, the Titans, who should be 2-0, they're 0-2, favored by 1.5 over the Packers. And Malik Willis comes back to Nashville to show the Titans they made a mistake. What do you guys say? Titans or Pack?
I got the Titans, actually, surprisingly. I just don't think the Titans go 0-3. That team is not as bad as the record. I think, that, like you said, they should be 2-0. I got the Titans.
I weirdly have the. I don't know. Again, another game where just kick me in the nuts, slap me in my face, and take my money, I guess. But I guess Green Bay.
All right, I'm going Titans on this one too. I pick the Titans every single time, and the Titans are 0-2. All right, here's the game you've been waiting for, Mario. It's the Browns. They're favored by 6.5. They're taking on the Giants. I'll go first in this one. I'm gonna take
Take that
Cleveland.
off.
For our listeners, Daniel McCamish said, Josh, has anyone told you look like Nick Sirianni? I think that's very funny.
I have heard that many times,
I've
unfortunately.
never thought about that. That's funny, though. Give me the Pats. I'm not Pat. Gosh,
Dude, what's going on? You having a stroke?
dude, I swear I'm having a stroke. Give me the Browns. Browns 6.5.
What do you got, Josh?
They play the Giants in
Giants.
Cleveland.
Yes.
Yeah, I got the Browns, too. I think they turn it on a little bit in this game.
All right, all three of us have the same thing. Here we go. Interesting game here, close to where Mario used to live. It's the Colts favored by 1 at home, taking on the Chicago Bears. Both quarterbacks have been criticized heavily. I'll go first. I'll take the Bears.
Yeah, I'll take the Colts.
All right, so this is a big day in the group chats from college because half the group chats from Chicago, the other group chats from Indy. So it's a little bit of a civil war in there. So head on a swivel, boys. I like the Bears in this.
Okay.
Nice.
What are they saying about Anthony Richardson back there? You know, I heard Greg Cosell say that Anthony Richardson is missing passes that high school quarterbacks going to make.
It's
He's right.
Yeah, I think the worry is that if it's not a deep ball, it's not going anywhere.
I feel like he's one of those guys that plays better at home and like not the same on the road. One of those guys that's always going to be in the game at home. So that's why I picked the Colts. But Anthony Richardson does miss like the easy slant, but like slings it 70 yards. It's crazy.
He's just not smart with the football. And like let's also like remember, he's not played a lot of football.
No.
At all.
Yeah, Josh does that all the time. Here's a guy that doesn't have a lot of games under his belt. One of those where they don't even say he plays better at home. He just plays better on his high school field against high school players. All right. I got the Bears as well. Raiders favored by 5 over the Panthers. This was at 7 until they changed quarterbacks. Raiders, though, still favored by 5. It's the opener. For me, if I was betting this week, this would be the automatic. It's going to cover. I'm going Raiders in this one.
Yeah, I'm with you. If the Raiders can beat the Ravens, I think they can tear down the Panthers. Got Raiders.
Mario, going
What,
the
the
other
Red
way?
Rocket? Red Rocket's not doing it for you, Josh?
He hasn't done anything in 7 years.
Yeah. Nah, he's not, Mario.
All right, that number is terrible. Give me the Raiders. I think Max Crosby had the best game of his life.
Yeah, multiple sacks.
Yeah.
All right, next up on here, you have the Seahawks are favored by 4.5, taking on the Miami Dolphins. Dolphins, of course, without Tua. Tua probably still thinks he's playing, doesn't know where he's at. But again, it's a long flight. I'll go first in this one. I'll take Seattle at home.
Seattle all the way. I think that Dolphins team's not very good.
Seattle. Mike McDonald's one of the best coaching minds in the league, and he's gonna freaking eat their lunch on Sunday.
A game I'll watch of two teams I'm not a fan of, but I will watch the Ravens taking on the Cowboys. Cowboys have had a hard time winning at home lately. Cowboys, Ravens are favored by 1 on the road.
What do you got? You go first, Dave. You never go first.
Yeah, you go first the last 2, but I will go Ravens. How's that?
I just wasn't paying attention. Sorry. I got Ravens. Right? There's no way the Ravens go 0-3. I got the Ravens.
Yeah, it's a coin flip game.
This is going to be a big Twitter game in terms of like whichever team's not playing very well, they're just getting ruined. It's going to be Harbaugh needs to get fired. McCarthy needs to get fired. Dak's not it. You know what I mean? Like it's going to be a big narrative game. Give me the Ravens though.
Okay. What's interesting is that, Mike Zimmer's the new, DC, and the Cowboys, if they cannot get sacks against this Raven offensive line, man, they're done. I mean, they will have a hard time the rest of the year. This game's kind of exciting all of a sudden. It's the Lions. They're favored by 3. They're on the road against Arizona. Mario, go first.
I like the Cardinals.
What's the spread?
3.
Cardinals. I think Kyler Murray's going to make a push for MVP. That's how good I think he might be.
Oh, Kyler Murray was absolutely outstanding last week. I mean, he was finally the player that I think most people thought he was going to be. I'm going to go change it up with you guys. I'm trying to catch points. I'm going to go I'll take the Lions. I wouldn't bet this game, though. I'll take the Lions, though, in this one. See if Jared Goff can actually realize which guys wear the same uniform he's wearing before he throws the ball. Good God. All right, a game full of injuries right here. It's the 49ers in L.A. It's the Rams home opener. Niners are favored by 7.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, I got 49ers. I don't even know who's playing for the Rams anymore. Like, they
don't know
2 offensive linemen hurt, Kupp, Nakua. I got the 49ers.
Do you think Stafford's like sitting there in like film room and just going, why the hell did I just retire after I won the Super Bowl? Yeah.
A lot of people are saying Stafford's a guy you could see being traded. They were saying, imagine how much better the Raiders would be if they were able to acquire Stafford.
I don't get the whole Raiders thing. Like, the Raiders are not very good.
No.
Like, I don't understand that.
And who wants to play
Adams,
there?
Tight end.
Like, how's it a destination spot? Is my question.
I don't think it is.
Yeah.
Raider fans are just making up rumors.
It's like, honestly, because they treat it like it is. It's like, is this really a destination spot?
Yeah, enough
Who
Raiders
wants to go here. Yeah.
Maybe, how about the Steelers? Put Stafford on the Steelers. They need a quarterback.
Add a third one to that room.
They were like the Brooklyn Nets when like they were like, oh, Brooklyn Nets though could be. It's like, who the hell wants to go there? Why?
So Mario, you have the Niners.
Yeah, I have the Niners. I think actually we're gonna call me crazy, but with so many guys out, like I think we can honestly see how good Purdy really is. Like maybe he does look really, really good. Like maybe he figures it out.
So one thing about the Niners, man, they have owned the Rams except for that NFC Championship game the year the Rams won the Super Bowl. It is amazing. Kyle Shanahan has basically been outstanding. I'm going Niners as well. That's the most embarrassing game for the Rams, by the way, when they host the Niners at SoFi. It is completely all red. The entire stadium is just red.
Yeah.
Next up for you, it's Sunday Night Football game. You have the Chiefs. They're favored by 3.5, taking on the Falcons. I'm not going to go first in this one. One of you guys go.
Is the game in Atlanta?
Game's in Atlanta.
Welcome to Atlanta.
I like the Falcons. Upset win.
Okay.
I like the Chiefs, baby. Chiefs stay hot.
All right, 3.5 is a lot, but I mean, I tell you, every time I pick Atlanta, it never works out for me. So I'm going with the Chiefs. Monday Night Football game. 2 Monday night games for you. You have the Bills taking on the Jags. Bills are favored by 5.5. I'll go first in this one. I'll take Buffalo.
Yeah, that line seems low. I take the Bills as well.
Give me the Bills.
Okay.
No one circles the wagons like the Buffalo Bills.
All right. Second Monday Night Football game. You have the Bengals favored by 8 over the Commanders. Mario, since you live in DC, where are you going?
dude, like I know T. Higgins like probably will play in this game. She practiced today, but like 7.5 against a team that they always play up to the Chiefs. I don't know about that. Like I'll take the Commanders and take the 7.5 and take like the security of like if the touchdown, but like I'm not gonna bet it. But I think the Bengals can keep it within that.
The Commanders, you mean? They keep it within.
Commanders.
Yeah,
Dude, my brain's stupid.
It's okay. I like the Commanders to cover.
Right. All those things Miss Conte said about you.
Yeah, I think the Commanders cover in this game. I think Jaden Daniels is pretty good.
All right, here we go. Battle of two LSU quarterbacks, right? I'm going Joe Burrow and the Bengals in there. 8's a huge number, but I'm going the Bengals. I don't think the Bengals fall to 0-3. Finally, the game of the week, the one we've been talking about the entire time. It's the Steelers taking on the Chargers. 10 a.m. kickoff Pacific time. It's the Steelers. They're favored by 1.5 over the Chargers. Josh, I'm going to let you pick first.
17-14 Chargers. Okay, we get the dub. My players of the game. This is tough, Mario, because you can go so many ways on defense, right? I think defensive player of the game is going to be Henley. I think Henley makes plays just like he did last week. He was flying all around the field. He showed off his speed. And then for offense, I'm going to go with Dave's guy, Ladd McConkey. I think he has a big game.
Dave, you go.
All right, I'm going Chargers as well. Final score, Chargers 13, Steelers 9. Ladd McConkey is my offensive guy, and Khalil Mack is my defensive guy.
All right. Do you guys want to take a guess how many times J.K. Dobbins has suited up and played against the Pittsburgh Steelers?
No, I don't.
It's lower than you think.
Injury? Oh, it's lower than I think?
Lower than you think.
One time.
Nah, 3 times.
Okay.
And those 3 times, 15 attempts for 113 yards, 7.5 average.
Wow.
15 attempts for 120 yards, 8 yards per carry, 1 touchdown. Last game he played, which was 2023, 93 rushing yards, 17 attempts, 5.5. Career-wise, 6.9 nice yards per carry, 108.7 yards per game. J.K. Dobbins is going to need to be there today on Sunday. He's going to need there to help out Justin Herbert. Justin Herbert's not healthy. J.K. Dobbins, my offensive guy. Defensive guy, it's a little bit of both. It's our 2 biggest players, Bosa and Mack. Keep Fields in that freaking pocket. Put pressure on him. Don't let him bounce outside. Make him try to be a pocket passer. Make him make mistakes. Capitalize on those mistakes because he's going to give you the ball. All you got to do is score. You do that, you win this game. Final score prediction. I like the 17 score, so I'm going to go 17-10. Chargers win and cover.
Steelers have scored 1 touchdown this season, and I think they have like 9 field goals.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have them adding 3 more. Again, it's funny. Before this season began and we went through the schedule, Josh and I both had the Chargers losing the Steelers. Mario had the Chargers beating the Steelers. We'll see what happens. After the game, though, again, you can join us live. When the game's over, we're going to do a live show immediately. Want to see your comments, good or bad. Want to see exactly what happens. Hopefully, I'm lighting up a cigar. That's how it goes. Yeah. Victory cigars for the Chargers. They win. We light up cigars and celebrate another win right there. But I think this win's really important for the fact you don't want to face the Chiefs coming off a loss. You don't want to have a chance of being 500 after the Chiefs game. To go 3-0, I think is a tremendous amount of help for this team going forward, just mentally getting ready for the long stretch.
Yeah, I got 3 show updates, if you don't mind. First one is we asked if we got 20 comments on the last show, we would do a live stream. We blew that number out of the water within the first 2 hours. Thank you so much for that. We will be doing a live stream, not this weekend, but next weekend with the Kansas City Chiefs. Hope to see all you guys there. Second update.
By the way, real quick, we get the second one. If I had to do this over again, I would have said we would have done one on the road. People made good points. I'm a Chargers season ticket holder. I can't be part of it. That's the only thing that stinks.
Good point.
Good point.
If I had to do it again, I would have picked this game against the Steelers. Was the one I would have picked.
Should we do
it?
If you guys can pivot, I can pivot.
Let me check my calendar. I can pivot.
I can pivot. I will be fresh off a flight after a wedding, so that's going to be even more exciting.
Look at you going to all these weddings.
Yeah,
like it.
What are we going to do?
All right.
Where's this one at?
Florida, Orlando. Okay. About 30 minutes south.
Nice. All right, are we going live on Sunday?
F it, we'll do it live.
Go live.
Sorry.
Dude, I love when everybody writes it and you can say it. All right, good. Look at us pivoting.
All right, I got two more. Second update is we will be creating a Twitter page or an X page. Our competitors, if you want to go that direction, other podcasts that do Chargers talk, all have them. We don't. We want as many listeners as we can get, obviously. So like and subscribe. That helps us. And then follow us on Twitter. I'll be creating that either today or tomorrow. So look out for @BoltCoupod if that name's available. And then the third thing, and Dave, I'll let you go on this one. We've been receiving a lot of comments. How do I stop ads from playing during your show? I can't follow the conversation. What do you have to say about that?
Dude, just push the goddamn skip button. What's wrong with you guys? Why do you let the ads play all the way through? Dude, I get that all the time. What's wrong with you guys? Mario knows how to push the skip button. You just heard Mario for the last hour and 27 seconds. He stepped in S the entire time. You heard him say it wasn't a good day, and he knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
Dude, 5 seconds. Push the skip. I'll take you right back to where you were. You aren't going to miss a damn thing. What's wrong with you guys?
And we need money. We need money.
Yeah,
all right. I need
please.
money.
Hey,
So-
Girthy Kataris says he can't skip. Is that our fault?
BS, dude? BS. You can push the skip button.
Dominic says, dog, they give us unskippable 15-second ads for F's sake.
Yeah.
And then Isaiah and Kelsey Lewis say, get your bread up, pay for premium. You don't have to deal about it.
Exactly.
I don't know. I don't work for YouTube. God dang it.
And if you want us to work for YouTube, tell YouTube. Maybe not. I don't know how that works.
I don't know what to tell you. We don't make any money off those goddamn ads. I will say this: you want to help the show out.
Technically, we do.
Yeah, but you know what I'm saying.
Not directly. Yeah.
But here's the deal, man. I recommend as well. If you listen to the show live today and you really want to help the show out, like be the best teammate ever, go back on YouTube, watch the show again, and just walk away from your computer if you've already seen it. Just let all the ads run full length. That helps us out tremendously.
So, Girthy, to help you out, it is a channel owner setting. Like before we go live, I manually have to put in that we're monetized and that we want ads. If I take that away, we do not make money every single show. That is not good for us. So we want to make money. So that's why you turn on the ads, and that's why you see those ads. We do not make, directly whatever ads you see, Built Basics or True Classics. That's the ads I always freaking get. We don't see a lick of that. So sorry.
And we're not in control of the ads, Nestor. Like we have no say in when they play. Like I'm sorry, like at all. Also, we have a star chat that we need to get to. It comes from 1998 Braden, $20. Thank you so much. It says, just want to say I love you guys, and you're by far the best Chargers podcast. Finally caught the live show for once. Appreciate that.
Oh, that's cool, man. That's
love you.
Yeah. Very, very nice. All right.
1998 is a great year, by the way. Shout out to Braden.
There
Never forget it again.
AK from 199 says YouTube Premium $18.99, YouTube Premium $18.99, free ad.
What is that? How long does that last for? A year?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know either.
Sorry.
Also, maybe you need the ads. Maybe
there might be something you're gonna buy.
Yeah, maybe a little Christmas shopping. Get it done early.
All right. Here's another thing right here. Again, we want you to subscribe, want you to like the show. All that stuff helps us out. We appreciate it. Once we own the show, obviously, things change a little bit for us. We decided we want to keep doing it. We want to keep doing it because we believe in this audience. The audience is outstanding. You guys have been better than we could have even anticipated. The same time on Thursdays like this, when we give our predictions for the Chargers, we want your score predictions too. We want to know, what do you think the final score is going to be? Something you guys, not everybody does. We probably get about 3 or 4 people that have been given their predictions on what they think the final score is going to be, but kind of curious to see how smart our audience is, who has it better than us. We want to see if you guys have it better than us.
And we got to give something away. If somebody gets the score right in the comments, we got to give them something. A shout out at the least.
Shout out and a Charger shirt.
All right. By the way,
I'm shooting from the hip. I don't know.
You're gonna pull it from the gift closet that we don't have? Is that you're gonna pull it from?
Yeah.
I was just gonna Amazon.
Okay. All right, Mario's gonna Amazon you a Charger shirt.
Yep. DMs are open.
New one or one that you've been wearing?
Yeah, you get a Mario shirt unwashed sent to you that will smell of Michael Jordan cologne.
Okay.
Like Michael Jordan. Great. That's awesome. Good luck
James,
to everybody out there.
you got to put
You're
the
gonna want
comment
that.
on YouTube, not on the live comments like this, so we can like look back at them. Yeah, dude, look at this. We get some people are being so nice. Rich V says, agreed, best Chargers podcast, 2,221 listeners in the middle of the day. Way to go, guys. Wait, that says 221 listeners. Sorry. Appreciate it.
We're
Thank
killing it today, fellas.
Still the middle of the day.
Our text messages earlier too. I mean, that should have been a sign.
Yeah.
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 And that was my
What a
fault.
mess. What a mess. All right. By the way, do we have a special show? Anything we have coming up before the game? Are we adding anything that we want to let people know?
Yeah, so people keep in mind, Saturday morning you'll get a surprise pod, a little bonus pod from us. We're having a longtime media personality in Pittsburgh. Chris Mack will join us to answer all Steelers questions to help preview the game. He'll help break it all down for us. It's going to be a quick, tiny pod, around 20 minutes long. You guys will love it. Chris Mack's a dear, dear friend to me. He's awesome. So check it out. It will be coming live to you Saturday morning. You can follow him at the Chris Mack. He's awesome. He's incredible. One of the best people in the business. And I'm not saying that just because he's coming on the show. I mean that absolutely, literally. So watch out for that Saturday morning. Just be a little quick thing you can watch in case you've already seen this and you want something fresh and new. That will be up Saturday morning. Check it out. Bolt Crew Podcast on YouTube. And also will be available anywhere you get your podcast.
All right. So I look again, we're pivoting. It's last minute notice, but we're doing it for the season ticket holders out there, or people that are going to the games. We're doing a live show on Sunday. So as you're watching the game, have your computer open and you guys comment with us. Okay. Again, it's Josh's birthday and it's Nestor's birthday too. I saw on the side there.
Yeah.
So make sure you join us Sunday morning. Chargers Steelers should be exciting. Might get a little frustrating. We're going to do our best not to swear for the first 10 minutes. I saw someone asked us, please don't swear. And we're going to do our best not to swear, but we aren't Phillip Rivers either. Okay. When things go bad, bad words come out. That's the way it works. It's usually the family rule. If you're watching on YouTube right now, you didn't catch the show live, go ahead and leave comments. We'll get back to those comments. We look at every single one of them and we try to respond to every single one of them. If we give a thumbs up, I'm telling you right now, we agree with what you said. All right. If I'm just not going to go in every time and go, I agree. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. But thumbs up means I agree with what you guys said. But we do look at every single one of them. So we appreciate your time on YouTube as well. Don't forget about your score predictions. And thanks again for joining us in the middle of the day if you happen to be here. We'll see you on Sunday during the game. For Mario Heron, Josh Palais, I'm Dave Palais. We'll see you on Sunday.